Former Minister Gandawa has said that guns that are being used to commit armed robberies in Zimbabwe were seized by army from CIOs and police officers during the 2017 military takeover that ousted late former President Robert Gabriel Mugabe. In a lengthy Twitter thread, Gandawa said, "The seemingly sudden wave of armed robberies involving members of the defense forces is linked to the chaotic, unlawful and dangerous takeover of armories during the 2017 coup, where the police and intelligence services were disarmed without a formal handover takeover process. During coup, every level of security perceived as hostile to the coup makers was disarmed with weapons taken from lawful possession even at traffic stops. This chaotic process included no documentation. It is unclear that these weapons were returned to state custody." Indeed, given the fluid situation and the fear of a counterattack that was prevailing at the time, it appears unlikely they would have readily surrendered the weapons to a central authority which could fall out of their control. A new status quo now prevails in which an unknown quantity of weapons are in the possession of criminal elements linked to the security forces. These weapons add a new dimension to Zimbabwe's security situation and are possibly outside Mnangagwa's control. This is a real possibility for the simple reason that many lower-level coup co-conspirators are yet to be paid for their service. There is growing bitterness within the armed forces over unfulfilled coup promises, while the top ranks enjoy the fat of the new dispensation. GOV cannot dismiss these armed robbers as rogue soldiers, given the repeated pattern of military personnel involvement. It is clear that there is a new source of insecurity linked to the army, and this requires an honest and meaningful response from government. In any case, the rogue soldier argument is disproven by the actions of the military subsequent to the killing of these armed robbers. You cannot claim a soldier has gone rogue and yet bury him with military honors following his death at a crime scene. It is futile for government to discourage the public from holding large sums of money. Nobody in their right mind wants the risk of carrying large sums of cash. The practice has arisen due to the collapse of confidence in the banking system post the 2017 coup. The bogus foreign currency auction rate is theft by administrative fiat, and no amount of persuasion will convince the public to deposit funds into a banking system which forcibly liquidates up to 40% of hard currency at that rate. The public is in an impossible position. The same is true of cross-border traders robbed on their way to South Africa. Most will be carrying cash. Mnangagwa, Mangudya, and Mthuli have had 4 years to fix the central issue of confidence. They have failed as demonstrated by widespread banking hesitancy. The banking solution is simple enough. Stop stealing from the public by means of the official exchange rate. The problem of military personnel involvement in armed robberies cannot be solved without admitting to its existence. For now, government believes there is no problem. That these interlinked problems have not aroused alarm in government is yet another sign that Mnangagwa has no real interest in governance, merely its trappings. His is a government of thugs intent on plundering public resources. They have no aspiration to improve people's lives. Meanwhile, civil society organizations, CSOs, President Paddington Japahapa has urged the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, ZDF, Commander Philip Valerio Sabanda, Zimbabwe National Army, ZNA, Commander Lieutenant General David Sigok, and the Zimbabwe Republic Police, ZRP, Commissioner General Godwin Matanga, to introduce strict disciplinary measures to curb the unwarranted indiscipline in the security forces. CSOs are calling upon the government of Zimbabwe to urgently make security service sector reforms, otherwise Zimbabwe shall continue to be one of the most dangerous places to live, Japahapa said. reorient and reintroduce strict disciplinary measures to all serving soldiers and police officers. Many officers in the ZNA and ZRP have become a security risk to the nation's citizenry. Instead of citizens feeling confident and comfortable to coexist with ex and serving members of the security forces, the opposite is now happening, Japahapa said. Japahapa said the recent armed robbery case in Chadcombe, Harare, which ended up with 3 of the 5 armed robbers being gunned down by retired police detective Joseph Nemesa, was an example of the prevalence of bad apples within the police force and army. The Chadcombe armed robbery case involved 3 serving members of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, including one who was on duty. Imagine soldiers who are on duty finding spare time to go and rob residents of their hard-earned cash and other valuable goods. It shows how discipline and close supervision is lacking in the police force and the army hierarchy. Japahapa, a former Liberation War detainee and war collaborator, accused the security service bosses of failing to devise ways of dealing with such cases. This is a sign of failure to devise the latest intelligence information tactics by the security chiefs. Defense Minister Appa Muchunguri must organize an urgent strategic security sector meeting to deal with the situation which has gone out of hand. Instead of channeling huge government resources towards planning on how to destroy Nelson Chamisa's MDC Alliance opposition political party, Emerson Mnangagwa's regime must make a paradigm shift in terms of safeguarding the lives of citizens, he said.